Hello, this is Sean Kouplen and welcome to another edition of Regent Elevate, and this is our final video in our series called Radical Trust. I hope you've enjoyed it. We've gotten great feedback on this series and we really appreciate that. Today we're going to continue talking about how high trust organizations are just different. They are different than everywhere you've ever worked. They're open, they are honest, they bring about better profits, but they also bring about better employee satisfaction and engagement. So today we're going to conclude our series by discussing the fact that high trust organizations manage their emotions. Okay? Now, what do I mean by this? Have you ever worked anywhere where it was like a roller coaster? It was up one day, down the next. One day the leadership and the employees were great. You were going to take on the world. You know, you're the best, you're the champions. And the very next day is just the opposite. I worked in an organization one time where literally on Friday, the owner of the organization said, you guys are so amazing. He put up this big spreadsheet, showed us all what our ownership was going to be worth and how great we were. And then after reading a Wall Street Journal article, on Monday came back in 3 days later, ready to let go 30% of the staff because we had to cut overhead. Now, that is not managing our emotions. This can look like a lot of different things, okay? Clearly, first thing that comes to mind are people that kind of flip out or overreact, people that yell and scream and do all that stuff. That's one way that we need to manage our emotions, but there are others. Number two is just I don't care, basically disengaging, avoiding the situation, just going off onto your own and being completely non-responsive and not involved in what's going on within the company. Number three, people will manage emotions a lot of time by just kind of numbing the hurt. So they'll engage in behaviors to make themselves feel better. You know, it might be things like drinking, it might be drugs, but it also might be things like social media and just escaping into things on their phone when they really need to be engaged and working. Stockpiling hurt and stockpiling pain not only causes these emotional outbursts, but it also will shut us down physically. So it's very important that we deal with pain as we have it and talk it out and not be ashamed of it. It's better just to deal with it than to try to hold it inside. And then finally, you'll see emotions in a low trust organization where people just fake it all the time. They pretend they're happy, they play like they're happy, to your face they're happy, but behind your back and when they're out of sight, they talk about how much they hate it, how much they hate their boss. They are not being real. Now, here's why it's so important that we have authentic emotions and we do not have a volatile emotional situation in our workplace. The reason is because if you blow up when somebody talks to you, or they talk to you and your face turns beet red, or it's obvious you're mad, they're not going to bring you honest feedback. You cannot have a high trust organization where there is fear involved. You cannot have a high trust organization where we're faking it, where we're pretending everything's okay, but it's really not. We cannot have a high trust organization where people, when they receive feedback, they just recoil and go away and avoid all human contact. So one of the keys, and the final key today to having a high trust organization, is that we manage our emotion. When someone gives us feedback, we take a deep breath. Nobody likes feedback. It's not like I enjoy hearing my shortcomings either. Nobody does. But if we accept it in the right mindset and in the right way, it will make us all better. It will make the company better, and you can learn and grow along the way as well. So thank you so much for joining us for this series. I have really enjoyed it. I hope it was as impactful for you as it has been for me. I want to just remind you that this whole series and all of our other series are on our website, regent.bank, under the Resources tab. Thanks so much. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you next week.